Chapter 9. Arrival in Germany. Ronnie was waiting. It was snowing when we arrived in Rhine-Main Airport. Our flight had been about 18 hours long on the old C-118 airplane, and we were tired. But fatigue turned to happiness when we spotted Ronnie. We found our baggage, and he quickly ushered us out to his new Opel station wagon, which he had purchased for about $1,750. Of course, that was more money than it might seem. That amount would equal about $8,750 today. But one could not buy an Opel today for that amount of money. It would be more like $13,000 to $14,000 today in 1993. The drive from Rhine-Main Airport to Bernkastel-Kues took about 1.5 hours. The snow was quite a contrast to the sunshine we had left behind in Georgia about 48 hours earlier. We had spent one night at the port of embarkation in New Jersey and had left there about 20 hours earlier for our trip to Germany. Now we were on our way to our new home in Bernkastel-Kues, about 16 miles from Hahn Air Base. The drive to Bernkastel-Kues was beautiful. I was returning to Germany after more than 12 years, and I couldn't help noticing the absence of war-torn towns and villages. Germany was in shambles when I departed from there, and now I was seeing a modern Germany that seemed to have arisen from the ashes with no trace of the evidence of World War II. After 12 years, my thoughts were running wild. And there were mixed feelings about being back in Germany. When Ronnie first announced that we had been offered the chance to return to Germany, I flatly said no, never. All I could think of was what I had experienced during the war and afterwards. Ronnie had to make me see that things were different and that it would be a great boost to our future earnings if we accepted. After all, it would only be for 2 years. I had agreed, with reservations, to give it a try. Now we were arriving in Bernkastel-Kues, and dark was catching up with us. The little town was lit up like a Christmas tree and looked like something in fairyland. We were happy to finally arrive at our new home at 105 Brüningstrasse, but I still don't understand why Ronnie didn't turn on the heat before he went to the airport to pick us up. I still remember how cold the house was. It took some time to warm up the big house. It had 7 rooms, and it still wasn't completely warm by bedtime that night. I could see the house much better the next morning, and I was impressed with its beauty and its spaciousness. It was fully furnished with central heating. It had 2 stories, plus a 4-room basement. The yard was nice and big by German standards. Our rent was $107 per month, which was cheap, even by today's standards. But rent was not our worry, since the government paid for it anyway. Children's reaction. I haven't said anything yet about the reactions of our children. They were bug-eyed with awe. Ron Jr. was born in Germany on the 9th of September 1946, 13 years earlier. Norma Jean Deanie was 12, and this was a real experience for them. Ron Jr. had never missed a day of school until this move interrupted his schooling. They had both been involved in music in their schools back in the States. Now, what would be their experience in Germany? Ronnie Jr. had started taking piano lessons in the 2nd grade. He studied the tuba in the 6th grade and sousaphone in the 7th. He played the sousaphone in the school band. Also, he loved football and had played on 3 different teams at the same time. He was also a good Little League baseball pitcher and had a good 350 batting average. Deanie had started taking flute lessons in the 5th grade and played in the school band. We loved to participate in their activities as spectators and transportation specialists. Our children were both blonde and beautiful. Deanie looked so cute in her band uniform, and Ron Jr. was so blonde that his schoolmates called him Whitey. Both did well in school. Ron Jr. was chosen in grammar school to represent the whole school in the state spelling bee contest. He did very well for his age, but finally lost out to older spellers in the higher grades. We watched him on television while we bit our fingernails and had near heart attacks each time he was up. It was almost a relief when he finally missed and was out of the contest. Adjustments had to be made. Now, we were in Germany and both had to start out with whatever the local school at Hahn Air Base had to offer. We wasted no time in getting them enrolled. Ronnie Jr. went into the 8th grade and Deanie went to the 7th. It was no time until both were engaged in their favorite activities and they were able to adjust to the new school quickly. We soon found ourselves going to every football game and every basketball game or any other school activity in which the children were engaged. I fondly remember how Ron Jr. was selected to participate in a musical festival back in the States. He played a tuba solo and received a superior rating. We were so proud of him. Deanie was the singer in the family, and it just seemed natural when her school chose her to play the part of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. To play the part of Dorothy was quite an honor, since she was only in the 7th grade and was chosen over her 8th and 9th grade companions. She played the part like a champion. She sang the songs like an 18-year-old. We were so proud of her. Deanie was also able to resume her study of the flute with a German instructor who spoke no English whatsoever. Ron Jr. took up the guitar with a German instructor who was very good. He spoke good English. Both Deanie and Ron Jr. studied German, and both sang in the school choir.